Every cyclist needs this. Okay, maybe not, but this. Definitely need this. Mike here from Bikes by Mike with another cycling related video. Today's theme is bike fit. Fortunately for you, I'm not going to tell you how to set up your perfect position on your bike, because I know almost nothing about that. But something I do know about is how to transfer the fit from one bike to another. So I'll be showing you that today. This is something that every cyclist, newbie to seasoned rider, needs to know how to do. Okay, let's get to it. Before I show you how to measure your bike fit position, I want to first tell you why this is something every cyclist needs to do. It's for the simple reason that at some point you'll need to replicate your bike fit. Even if you're someone that only rides a few times a year, knowing your setup is one of the most important things to keep track of and to keep up to date. Think of it as your bike's unique fingerprint, a set of numbers unique to you. So let's break down the specific reasons why you need to grab a tape measure and write this stuff down. Reason number one, it establishes your baseline for adjustments. Even if your fit isn't perfect, it's what you're used to and what you're currently using, so it's important to know. Recording your baseline then allows you to make small, calculated adjustments without getting lost. Let's say that your handlebar reach feels a bit too long. Maybe you want to try a stem that's shorter. But if you don't know your starting point, you won't know how to get back to your original position if you need to reverse what you've done. You'll just be stuck guessing. Reason number two, fast track your fit onto another bike. This is a big one, especially when buying a new bike. Instead of spending weeks trying to recreate your fit, you can use your measurements from your current bike to quickly get your new bike to fit like the old one. This is also incredibly useful when having to rent a bike when traveling. Instead of the crude trial and error approach used by lots of riders, does this feel right? No. What about this? No, that's not. Nope. You can give your measurements to the rental shop so your bike is already fitted for you when you go to pick it up. It's a way better and more efficient way of getting your setup on a loaner bike just right. Reason number three, it prepares you for slips and swaps. Taking your fit measurements is important for when you're replacing bike components or parts on your bike slip and have to be placed back to the original position. The classic case is a saddle and seat posts. These are components that a lot of cyclists will replace at some point, and they're also ones that are also prone to slipping. By knowing your saddle height, setback, and tilt measurements, you can quickly get your saddle position back to your preferred fit. Reason number four, it gives your bike fitter a head start. If you decide to invest in a professional bike fit, walking in with your current measurements is a huge advantage. It gives the fitter a ton of useful information and will save you both valuable time. They'll better understand your history and your body's current position and relationship with your bike, which will give them a head start in fixing whatever part of the fit needs improving. Now, even if you've been given your bike fit measurements by someone else, say a bike fitter or someone at your local bike shop, you still need to take your own measurements yourself. Why? Because how you take the measurements is not what's really important. What is really important is your ability to replicate the measurements over and over again. And if someone else has taken those measurements for you, there won't be any consistency in future measurements. Stated differently, accuracy isn't important here, repeatability is. So if you have a set of measurements taken by someone else, it's very unlikely you or anyone else will be able to take those measurements exactly the same way, which means the values themselves aren't terribly useful. You only need a few tools for the job, so let's quickly review them. The first is an accurate tape measure. Most go with the metric version, which provides nice, small, incremental units, but you can use imperial if you like. You'll need a very long spirit level, ideally no less than 1 meter long. Mine is 1.2 meters. Next is a laser level. I have one made by DeWalt here, but any laser level that can shoot a laser beam vertically from ground up will work just fine. You'll want a pen and paper, smartphone, or something to record your measurements onto. And the last item is optional, but if you have one, you'll be able to take more accurate and consistent measurements over and over again. And it'll make the process a whole lot easier. It's a saddle height measurement tool, typically referred to as an 80mm tool. You can find these everywhere. They're inexpensive and typically are made of 3D printed plastic. I bought mine on Amazon. It came with a bottom bracket insert, but that piece isn't as important as the saddle tool. Okay, so now let me guide you through the 5 bike fit measurements you'll need to establish your baseline fit. But first, you'll want to place your bike on a floor that is perfectly level or as close to perfectly level as possible. So drop a spirit level on the floor to make sure the surface your bike is sitting on is flat. Back to my earlier point about the importance of the repeatability of your measurements, if your floor is not level, make sure you're always taking your bike measurements from the exact same position on the floor. Now you'll want something to hold your bike upright while you take your measurements. A bike stand is handy for this, but since I don't have one, I'll use my repair stand instead. Anything that keeps your bike still as you take your measurements will work just fine. The first measurement I'll take is saddle height. I'll insert the bottom bracket center position tool into the crank axle bolt. And then I'll place the 80mm tool on top of the saddle as far back as it will go. A measurement will be taken from the center of the crank axle to the triangular marker on the 80mm tool. So that's what I'll do. When placing the 8mm tool on the saddle, try to wedge it in a bit as you push it back, which should help lock it in place and prevent it from falling off. Then hook your tape measure into the bottom bracket tool and take your measurement as it crosses the path of the 80mm tool. And I'll record my first measurement. If you don't have an 80mm tool, you simply take a measurement from the center of the crank axle to the center point of the top of the saddle via the center point of the saddle rail. The second measurement is the saddle setback. Leave your 80mm tool on your saddle and then place your laser level on the floor so that the laser beam is pointing up to the ceiling, passing through the center of the crank axle. I'll take a measurement level to the ground from the center point of the 80mm tool to the laser beam. This measurement can be a bit finicky, so you might find it easier if the laser level is tilted inwards towards the bike. Or do what I did and have your bike tilted towards the level. This will place the laser beam closer to the center of the saddle nose, which will make taking your measurement a whole lot easier. A good way to make sure your laser level is passing through the center of your crank axle is to slightly angle the laser inward until it touches your crank arm. When you're 100% sure your laser level is properly aligned, you can go ahead and take your measurement. If you don't have an 80mm tool, set up the laser level as I did, but take your measurement from the tip of your saddle to the laser beam. Don't forget to record your measurement. The third measurement is saddle tilt. No need for the 80mm tool for this one. I'll be placing my spirit level on my saddle and holding it so that it's perfectly level to the ground. The saddle tilt is the vertical distance from the top of the saddle nose to the underside of the level. This is a lot easier to do with another set of hands, but if you take your time, you can get an accurate measurement working alone. Most riders will be aiming for no tilt or just a slight drop to the nose of the saddle. Our fourth measurement is bar reach. You'll once again need your 80mm tool for this one to take a measurement from the center of the top of the tool to the center of your handlebars. I find this 80mm tool almost more helpful for this measurement than the one it's really designed for, being measuring saddle height. It gives you a very consistent point on the saddle to take your measurement from. But for those of you without an 80mm tool, you need to take your measurement from the nose of your saddle to the center point of your handlebars. Our final measurement is a drop, or handlebar drop. Place your spirit level on the highest point of your saddle, which is usually the back, perfectly level to the ground. And measure the vertical distance from the underside of the level to the center of the handlebars. Again, just like with the saddle tilt measurement, this is easier done with another set of hands. But take your time and you should be able to get an accurate measurement working alone. Don't forget to jot your measurements down. Now that you've taken all 5 of your bike fit position measurements, you'll want to keep these measurements somewhere where they won't get lost so that you can retrieve them when you need them. And that's it for what I think is the best and easiest way to record your bike fit position measurements. Tell me what you think. Did it work for you, or do you have a better and faster way of doing it? Let me know in the comment section below. That's all I got for today, folks. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you're not a subscriber to this channel, please subscribe, as it allows me to produce more content for all of you. See you next time. Happy rolling.